want to read this email from Stephen. Charlie, good point on their need to lie being a good thing. Here's the good news. Here's more good news. I'm seeing on YouTube comments that even on mainstream media sites like ABC, NBC, CNN, to a lesser degree, comments are shifting more favorably to Trump, more critical of Harris. The only exception being the gate MSNBC. I think less people are buying the lie. That's right, Stephen. So it would have been demoralizing if they would have just went on a parade of their most radical stuff imaginable, as if they were running for mayor of San Francisco, as if they were running for mayor of New York. But they had to make themselves seem like moderate Republicans. By making themselves seem like moderate Republicans, it shows that they understand that what they do and what they believe is so out of touch with the American people. Further evidenced by who didn't speak at the DNC. The man who everyone thought was going to be president. The California king. The man who had the heir apparent to the presidency, or so it seemed, Gavin Newsom. Did you know that Gavin Newsom did not speak at the DNC? He did a little roll call thing when they did the roll call, which, by the way, credit to the DNC. The roll call looked objectively great. They gave him a handheld mic. And Gavin Newsom was like, okay, California's great, blah, 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 blah. And then boom, they moved on. We love Joe Biden. We love Kamala Harris. Gavin Newsom did not get a main stage address. AOC did, but Gavin Newsom did not. Why is that? There's only so much radicalism that the DNC can take towards the American people. It's a good thing that they had to lie. Imagine if they would have went up and they would have said, and we as the Democrat Party, we believe that babies are not male or female, but their gender is assigned, their sex is assigned at birth, which is a stated belief of the Democrat Party. We at the Democrat Party believe that if you mispronounce someone, you should be in prison. That's a stated belief of the Democrat Party. We as the Democrat Party believe that we should defund the police, which is a stated belief of the Democrat Party. Instead, they had a nonstop parade of police officers in uniform who are total frauds and, being blackmailed, like this guy from Flint, Michigan, if you could get him. Oh, what a nauseating speech. How many former Republicans did they have to parade on stage? Adam Kinzinger. Well, Leon Panetta is a joke. I'll get to him in a second. They had Stephanie Grisham, the other woman that worked for Mike Pence. They know they're actually at the core not a majority. If they were the majority of this country, they would not have passed around American flags last night. If they were the majority of this country, they would have just went all woke all the time. The DNC shows you on full display that wokeism is already dying. That they can't own who they are. They can't advertise their fundamental ideas. And yes, of course, they're lying. She's a radical. She's a Marxist. She's all this. But then why didn't they say it? Some people say, well, you got to move to the center to win over moderates. Yes and no. But she kept on pushing freedom and patriotism. If you would have just watched the speech and looked from afar, you would have thought she was talking like a 2004 George W. Bush. And she was even more aggressive when it came to foreign policy, by the way. And that's the other buried lead, how the neocons have taken over the Democrat Party. How the neocons have absorbed the entire Democrat Party. Let's go to this one right here. This is Kamala Harris speaking last evening, lying about Donald Trump with no substance whatsoever. But listen carefully. How is this any different than John McCain? How is this any different than George H.W. Bush? How is this any different than Hillary Rodham Clinton? A former CIA director spoke before Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris knows where the power centers are in this government. She is going to continue endless wars that send your sons and daughters to lands abroad that impoverish our country, hundreds of billions of dollars to the weapons manufacturers. Play cut 183.
And know this, I will never necessary to defend our forces and our interests against Iran and Iran-backed terrorists. I will not cozy up to tyrants and dictators like Kim Jong-un who are rooting for Trump. Because, you know, they know he is easy to manipulate with flattery and favors. They know Trump won't hold autocrats accountable because he wants to be an autocrat himself. And as president, I will never waver in defense of America's security and ideals, because in the enduring struggle between democracy and tyranny, I know where I stand and I know where the United States belongs.
This is pure neocon psychobabble. The enduring struggle between democracy and tyranny. Whoa, back it up. First of all, what side are we on? Because we're acting like a tin pot third world dictatorship, trying to imprison Donald Trump, indict him, raid political opponents. Bannon right now is in federal prison. Peter Navarro just got out. So which side are we on? Number two, democracy versus tyranny? No. I don't care at all about that sort of foreign abstraction. I care about America. This is how John Bolton would speak, where they want to act as if that the premise of America is an ideological international debate while the homeland collapses. Conservatism is about, wait a second, the homeland must be strong, it must be vibrant, it must be prosperous. And Kamala Harris is trying to propagandize you that the mission statement of the American Foreign Policy Project is winning democracy versus tyranny. I would love when Kamala Harris sits down for an interview, if she ever does. Here's a question I would ask her. Hey, in your acceptance speech, you said that you will forever be involved in the enduring struggle. For the enduring struggle? Enduring struggle. Kamala Harris, did you support the invasion of Iraq? Because that kind of psychobabble is how you get into the displacement of Saddam Hussein. Do you think that we should invade Venezuela for the enduring struggle between democracy and tyranny? No, Kamala Harris is saying very clearly that she wants more endless wars, and it's a total telegraph that we will spend hundreds of billions of dollars more on quagmires while our own nation, our own people, our own citizens get poorer, get further impoverished. She says, I will never hesitate whatever action is necessary. And she says, I will not cozy up to tyrants and dictators like Kim Jong-un. This is this new talking point. And again, if someone should ask her when you sit down saying, Kamala Harris, was Franklin Delano Roosevelt wrong to work alongside Stalin to defeat Hitler? Was that the wrong move? Again, she would never be able to answer that question. She doesn't think deeply about anything. She's a paid shill. But I'm just curious, did we cozy up to Stalin? Yeah, we did. Stalin was a mass murderer, a really evil person. But it was a necessary, strategic, temporary ally against a greater evil. She is telling the military-industrial complex, she knows exactly what she's doing, by the way. She wants the CIA and the FBI to intervene on her behalf to make her president. That's why she said this. This right here is her telegraphing to the intel agencies, hey, do your thing again. She is telegraphing to the intel agencies, I'm one of you. Now, you could say they're telling her, or it could be a symbiotic relationship. It could be a little bit of a tennis match. They're going back and forth. I pay you, you do me. And they're watching very carefully, and they saw, we got what we wanted. The administrative state of D.C. heard it. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have war with Iran. She says, I will not take whatever necessary against Iran. Again, like, I'm not a fan of Iran. I think they're evil. I think they're terrible. But war with Iran would be catastrophic. Do not underestimate how much these powers hate President Trump. And they hate President Trump because in his acceptance speech and in his speeches, he refuses to do this whole thing. He refuses that. Could you ever hear Donald Trump, unless it was some sort of like Normandy speech or something, but like in the actual policy address, could you ever imagine him saying and believing, I will never waver in the enduring struggle of democracy and tyranny? Yeah, I'm sorry. The American people can't afford groceries. Enough of your enduring struggle of your academic abstraction. This is empire building speak. This is NATO, is what this is. New World Order, World Economic Forum, no borders. I know where I stand, and I know where the United States belongs. Well, no, you know where the intel community stands. You don't know where the American people belong. The American people don't want more war. More war is increasingly unpopular with the American people. The American people, when polled, say, if you attack us, we crush you. Other than that, why don't we get our own house in order? Why do we have all these homeless vets that we can't feed and we can't house? Why do we have a mental health crisis? Most depressed, suicidal, alcohol addicted, anxious generation history. Why do we have a wide open border? We're being invaded. And Kamala Harris spoke more firmly and more aggressively against the freedom and democracy and tyranny struggle than saying that I am going to stop the invasion of our own country. That's because this right here, it's simply a vassal state is what it is. She wants to spend down the inheritance of America, bleed it dry, because she looks at us as a colony, not a country, to continue the great American empire, the GAE. This was a more hawkish, belligerent speech than John McCain had at the RNC in 2008, which is one of the reasons why I think RFK is contemplating endorsing Donald Trump today.